What up guys, your boy Quake, and before we get in this video, be sure to follow me on my social media on Twitter and on Instagram at QuakeGW. A link is in the description below for both of those. And for those that don't know, 21 Savage just dropped his new album, I Am Greater Than I Was, and on this album there's a specific song called A Lot, and it features J. Cole. Yes, I know, 21 Savage and J. Cole, that's a weird combo because 21 Savage is definitely not a conscious rapper, but on this album, surprisingly to me, he comes off more as a conscious rapper instead of just a trap rapper that you're used to from him. Now, why am I making a video about this song? Well, J. Cole's feature on this track is simply amazing. It's probably the best verse, or at least featured guest verse, of the year in terms of hip-hop. But not everyone feels that way. When this J. Cole verse came out, he faced a lot of backlash for what he said in this verse, and I'll explain why now. And instantly when J. Cole starts his verse on this track, there's already something controversial he says, but this is something that we've been known for a while now. It's just when J. Cole is saying it on a track, a lot more people are paying attention, I guess. He starts out the verse saying, question, how many faking their streams? A lot. Getting they plays from machines? A lot. I can see behind the smoke and mirrors. Guys ain't really as big as they seem. Now, breaking down these lines is simple. He's basically saying streaming numbers are getting boosted, and a lot of these artists that are doing these insane numbers aren't really that big. They do not have that big of a fan base. And of course, we've seen this. We've seen Tidal boost their numbers. We've seen Apple Music get caught boosting their numbers. We've seen Spotify. Basically, every streaming platform has been caught in some way boosting their numbers. And this isn't anything new. Even when CDs were being sold, there have been accusations of artists boosting their numbers. I remember when the Carter 4 did almost 1 million copies first week, a lot of people were accusing Birdman of buying nearly 200,000 copies. So numbers have been boosted even when CDs were being sold. So this is nothing new in the music industry. And streams, though, it seems like it's happening more often and a lot easier because you can manipulate computers a lot easier. Continuing the verse, he says, I never say anything, everybody got they thing. Some guys make millions, other guys make memes. I'm on a money routine, I don't want smoke, I want cream. I don't want no more comparisons, this is a marathon and I'm aware. I've been playing it back from the lack of promotions. I never was one for bragging and boasting. I guess I was hoping the music would speak for itself, but the people want everything else. And these lines, he's just backing up what he said on the KOD album that, you know, yes, he's in it to make money, but that's not why he got into music. He says that I don't want comparisons to other artists, and he says that this is a marathon, and I'm aware, knowing that, you know, it's not about, you know, what you're doing right now. It's about how long you can last in the music industry. And he's like, I've been playing it back from lack of promotion, saying that he's essentially blaming his label, I guess, for not promoting the KOD album as much. And he was like, I was never one for bragging and boasting. I guess I was hoping the music would speak for itself, but the people want everything else. When he's saying that line, he's saying, you know, he didn't do interviews. He hasn't done much interviews. He's been doing them a little bit more recently, but whenever he would release an album, at least for these past 2 to 3 albums, he didn't do any interviews. He just wanted the music to speak for itself. And a lot of artists that are like on a major level like J. Cole have been doing this. Like Drake hasn't done much interviews. He usually just drops an album and doesn't talk much. Kendrick Lamar on the same thing. He continues the verse and says, okay, no problem. I'll show up on everybody's album. You know what the outcome will be. I'm batting 1,000. It's got to the point that these rappers don't even like rapping with me. On these lines, I think J. Cole is acknowledging the fact that he's been hearing a lot of people saying that he does better on features than he does on his own albums. Just in this year alone, he appeared on 12 people's albums as features, and on each of those features, he killed it. Everyone would agree that. And a lot of people are saying that J. Cole isn't doing as well on his own albums when it comes to bars and lyrics and what he's saying, versus that when he gets featured on someone's album, he does way better and delivers something way better. And the perfect example is this verse itself. It's easily the best verse J. Cole has spit all year. Now, on these upcoming lines is where J. Cole got a lot of backlash for what he said. He said, pray for Tekashi, they want him to rot. I picture him inside a cell on a cot, reflecting on how he made it to the top, wondering if it was worth it or not. Now, why he got a lot of backlash, it's very clear. He said, pray for Tekashi, and a lot of people did not like that. They didn't understand why J. Cole was saying that at all. And he was getting backlash because they were saying, why are you defending a sex offender? Why are you defending someone who basically brought it on themselves for them to be locked up. As we all know, 6ix9ine was doing a lot of crazy things when he was out. He was going against a lot of people, dissing everybody that he could, and then people are wondering, why is J. Cole saying, hey, pray for this kid? When in reality, if you guys really paid attention, if anyone paid attention to J. Cole, when he released the KOD album, he basically reached his hand out to the younger artists and told them, hey, don't go down this route. And this is basically what he's saying in these bars. He's saying, listen, he's a kid. He did these dumb mistakes just to get this sort of fame. And now he's probably in a cell thinking, was it really worth it to do all these crazy things and just to end up possibly facing life? And honestly, I can see both sides of the story. I can see why people are upset at J. Cole for what he said, because a lot of it makes sense. Why would you pray for a kid who's a sex offender who basically did it on himself? He was asking for it. But I can also see why people would have sympathy for 6ix9ine. He's a kid. When you're a kid, you make a lot of mistakes. You get influenced very easily, and you do a lot of dumb things that you would not do normally as an adult. At least when you get older, you get more mature. You know the consequences of things. And when you're broke and a kid, you end up doing a lot of things for money and fame to try to get yourself rich, to try to help your family. So I'm assuming that's what 6ix9ine's approach was. He was trying to do anything that he could to get attention. He got it, and it went simply too far. So I can understand why people would feel bad for him. Me personally, I'm on the fence. I sometimes say he did it to himself. I sometimes say, hey, he's a kid. He just got really influenced by the wrong people and decided to really go out there when it comes to getting fame and money. And I feel like J. Cole knows the pressure that 6ix9ine was under, with the whole world looking at him, the whole world wanting him to fail, the whole world basically saying, I hope you serve life. And this is just a kid we're talking about. You know, imagine you having the whole world looking at you, and if you made a mistake, everyone punishing you. So I feel like J. Cole can sympathize with that because he knows fame. He got it later in life, though he didn't get it as young. He was a lot older, so he was a lot more mature in the things that he said and did, and thought about the things he said and did. Following those lines, he basically shouts out Markelle Fultz, who's a basketball player for the 76ers, who's been going through a sort of disease that he has where he can't shoot as well. He shouts him out, says he's blessed, and don't doubt his abilities. He even shouts out Dennis Smith Jr., who's another basketball player. Then he says something interesting in these lines. He says, I'm on a tangent, not how I planned it. I had some fans that hopped and abandoned ship. When they thought I wasn't going to pan out, I got a plan. They say that success is the greatest revenge. Tell all your friends. Cole on a mission, cementing the spot as the greatest who did it before it all ends. Now, these last lines were dope because I feel like J. Cole, once again, has been hearing what people have been saying. And when J. Cole, after 2014 Forest Hills Drive, dropped the For Your Eyes Only and KOD, he took a very different route in what he was preaching, and a lot of people basically stopped listening to his music in terms of, you know, regular day-by-day fans, you know, those mainstream fans that want those hits, and it mainly became, you know, his hardcore fans listening to the albums and not as much as mainstream. So he said a lot of people basically hopped and abandoned ship. And he's like, when they thought that I wasn't going to pan out, I have a plan. So basically saying, I have something planned for 2019. We all know he's going to release another project, and I'm sure this one's going to be more on a different route, more, I guess, on a mainstream route, it sounds like. He says, Cole on a mission, cementing the spot as the greatest who did it before it all ends. So he's basically teasing the fans, saying, I got something on the way. I've been planning things, and tell everybody because I'm back on my shit. But that's it for his verse. I wanted to talk about it because I felt like I said earlier in the video, it's one of the best verses to drop this year, if not the best. And I wanted to clarify the 6ix9ine thing because a lot of people were going at him, and that there are multiple ways to look at what J. Cole said. You know, you can be sympathetic to 6ix9ine, or you can be someone who doesn't care at all and wishes life or death in prison for him, whatever it is. But for me, like I said, I'm in the middle with this. I'm not either or. So I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think of J. Cole's verse? What do you guys think of what J. Cole said about 6ix9ine? And how do you guys feel about 6ix9ine? Are you guys on the left side where you guys feel like, hey, he deserves it, he brought it on himself? Or are you guys more sympathetic? Or are you guys in the middle like me? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think this is also verse of the year, or is it definitely a contender for that? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to support this channel further, you can do so at patreon.com/diversementality. A link in the description below. Like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. I do videos like this daily on hip-hop news and much more, so definitely subscribe. subscribe, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at QuakeGW, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.